in marketing land, I guess. Welcome to week 11 for your MBA 631 course. Super excited to be reaching out to you here at the start of the week for week 11. And sometimes weeks are hard to juggle around, and my goal is always to have these opportunities to reach out early in the week. They don't always happen. So, anyways, hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing well. Hope you've had a good weekend. And right in again week 11, so that means that we're well on two-thirds of the way through the course, only 4 or 5 more weeks left for us to keep plugging away. The material can be in depth, right? There should be a lot of depth in what you're looking at in terms of reading the material here. Much of what your opportunity here is to kind of put in the effort that you need to get through the material and understand it to the point where you can apply it and find applications where you can put it into use, or maybe where you're looking at some theory, and maybe some of the things don't make sense, but eventually they do and they click and things like that. So again, it's a lot of material to digest each week, but that's okay. That's kind of why we do it. And so again, I'm going to pull over our topics for this week. And so one of the challenges for brand managers and for at the strategic level of of marketing, is kind of the middle area of marketing, are managing products and thinking about what a product array is, where we take all of our products and put it together on like a chart, if you will, and a little bit like a product market chart, but not really. I mean, when you're in the organization, you want to make a list or an account of all the cash flows that you have from products and services, and so that needs to be organized to some degree. And so we sometimes call that a chart, which would be like a product array chart, and it would have our product mix and our product lines all on that chart. So those are actually a really good exercise to create these charts, because you can develop a lot of theory or a lot of strategy based on like some product lines that are short or some that are too long. You can change the length of those product lines based on strategy. Also, you might find an area of business that you want to create a new product or a new product line, and then go into that area or that product category. And so your mix then would change. It'd go from left to right. It would increase in size that way. So I think it's important to think about kind of those strategies and how you're going to reflect growth, but also if you have to cut back, where you're going to cut back and save on costs and some things like that, if contraction is something that you do. And again, there's those strategies involved. So that's what this week kind of begins to talk about. And we have a great article, Cannibalize Your Own Products, where you think about creating new products that will then eliminate the need for some of your older products. That's cannibalizing your own product lines. It's a growth strategy, actually. So that's something that you could do. But also thinking about manage the product through product life cycles with offensive and defensive strategies. So if you are offensively and aggressively minded, you might be creating a lot of new products. Those are often kind of new product life cycles phases, introduction and growth phase type elements, where you're looking to add products that are in those spaces. It's an aggressive move. If you're a company where you want more stability and less risk, then maybe you acquire products or develop products that are in their later stages of the life cycle, and those would be less risky. And assuming that you can gain market share, it might be a nice strategy to do as well. Okay, so there's actually a number of different kind of strategies here that are really important if you want to think about how to move forward and like be dynamic in terms of what you do. And trust me, as you continue through, maybe not the MBA program, but beyond this, as you continue to develop in your professional careers, you're going to need to think more strategically. I mean, it's inevitable. Uh, it just is. So even if you're a seasoned veteran, the next stages that you take professionally are going to be strategically based. And if you're younger, if you're starting out in a career, again, those are skill sets you're going to need to develop as you move forward. So yeah, so these are important concepts to get down in terms of not just identifying what your products are, but managing them for future growth as you move forward. Okay, so that's kind of that. Again, I mentioned this last time. Chapter 6 in our primary chapter is kind of a catch-all for the 4 Ps. It's called the marketing mix. When we're doing all 4 Ps and we're looking at them together simultaneously, chapter 6 comes into play. Problematically, then there's not a separate chapter just on brand management and some of these chapters, or product management, excuse me, and some of these other chapters. So you're going to see some of this again. That's where I'm going to rely more on our external readings for you to get some of this material, and also the videos too. The videos, I talk more in the videos on things that aren't directly in the textbook. So you're going to be seeing things in the, again, as you read, as you look at the videos, you're going to see bits and pieces that are different in both, right? And that's what you should do, because you should see a full kind of array of knowledge in each one of these knowledge bases that we talk about. So again, we have our grid of things that we're doing here: product management strategy. You're going to have a bunch of videos here, and then our readings for each week too, as well. That the fiat articles, those two fiat articles, are good background things, because fiat expanded into the U.S. And before they had been in the U.S., back in the 60s and 50s and 60s and 70s, they had kind of a bad reputation, and then they came back and they were popular for a while, and now they're not popular. And so again, it's kind of like, and then where does fiat fit in other product spaces within organizations? So anyways, good piece to read. And again, think about it from like a product management perspective, like managing portfolios of products. That's kind of actually really important to kind of pull together and think about when we look at our material for this week. Um, Otherwise, everything looks good. We're moving right along, and we're gonna jump into new material again. We're just kind of cruising right along. Next week we'll have our test. So this week I'll have your second test graded. Third test will be next week, and then we'll jump into our last 3 sets of chapters. So coming together with those grades on the tests. They're moving along slowly, but they'll be done this week for you, so that you'll have time to review those and reflect on those before you start next week's test. And the material for next week's test will be on branding of products and product management. So, all right, that's all I have. But by all means, reach out if you have any questions. I hope you're having a great week. Take care.